All right, in this video, we're going to work on writing an equation of a parabola given some specific information. So what is the equation of a quadratic function with a vertex of -2, 3 and a y-intercept of -1? So here is the equation of a parabola. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. We know that h and the k values come from the vertex. So we can go ahead and plug those in. Y equals a times, remember it's a -2, so x minus a -2, that's why that's going to look like a +2 in parentheses, and then plus 3. So I just went ahead and I plugged in the h value here and the k value here. Now, when they give us a y-intercept of -1, they are giving us an ordered pair that's on this parabola, 0, -1. What that does is it gives us an x and a y value that we can work with, because ultimately the thing we don't know is the a value. We don't know if this parabola is opening up or down. Will that be positive or negative? We don't know if there will be a stretch or compression that might change our 1, 3, 5 pattern. So let's use the ordered pair they gave us to help us find our a value. So this y value we are going to replace with the y value of our ordered pair. So we're going to say -1 equals, we don't know the value of a, so I'm going to leave that as a, but this x value we will replace with the x value of our ordered pair. This could be any ordered pair on the parabola. So the fact they could have given us a different ordered pair, and that x and that y would produce the same a value as well. Okay, now to solve for a, we're just going to follow order of operations, simplify, and solve. So first we would add inside our parentheses. So 0 plus 2 is 2 squared plus 3. Now we'll go ahead and square the 2. So -1 equals a times 4, or 4a, plus 3. And then we'll just keep solving for a. Subtract 3 from both sides. -4 is equal to 4a. Divide both sides by 4, and we're getting our a value to be a -1. So our answer, we're able to put our final answer. Our equation is y equals, and it could be f of x equals as well. Our a value is a -1, so I'm just going to write it as a negative. You can write the -1 in if you like. And then we have x plus 2 squared plus 3. So that is writing an equation of a parabola in vertex form. So one thing I want to show you, just so we see it a couple more times, is how can we take that vertex form and write it in the other form that we were given, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. That was part of our definition of a quadratic formula. So, or of a quadratic equation. We can take our formula that we have and basically multiply the whole thing out. So what that looks like is you have a negative. Anytime you have a binomial squared, that means you would write it twice. That means x plus 2 times x plus 2, and then plus 3. We do want to go ahead, I think it's easier to multiply out the x plus 2 times the x plus 2. Maybe I'll even do that off on the side. X plus 2 times x plus 2, if you remember, will FOIL or distribute x squared plus 2x. Then we're going to do the same thing with the 2 plus 2x and then plus 4. So we have a negative and then x squared. Combine like terms to get plus 4x, and then we have that plus 4 on the end, plus 3. And then that negative will get distributed. So we have a -x squared minus 4x minus 4. I'll carry down the plus 3. Now we have those like terms. I'm going to go ahead and write y equals -x squared minus 4x minus 1. This is another equation of our quadratic function. This is actually called standard form. You guys are going to work with standard form more in this chapter, and that's how you can get from vertex form into standard form.